Good day, nerds. Welcome to the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. This is the podcast where we dive into the world of movies and TV shows. And we discover the good, the bad, the damn right, ugly. I will get this bloody intro done first time. I swear to God, it's like the fifth time I've recorded this. My name is James. Welcome into the show. Hope all is doing well. Hope you're all having a great time. We are officially 2 weeks from Christmas, or as you're hearing this on Monday, will be exactly 7 days till Christmas. So, happy Christmas to everybody. Hope you're having a good one. Hope you've all got your presents sorted. And to all you kiddies out there, hope you're still being good for Santa Claus to come and deliver those good old presents this year. Welcome to episode 36, and quite frankly, we are talking one of the most exciting British game shows and iconic game shows that has ever been created, in my opinion. We are talking the Crystal Maze, and this is so much of my childhood, and I'm so happy that I'm talking about this particular show just 3 weeks before the end of the year. So it's absolutely fantastic. So but I'd just like to say, as we go ending up towards the end of the year, I'd just like to say this podcast has been going since April last year, I think. April this year. So it's incredible to think next year will be a year of this podcast, and that is absolutely crazy. I better double check. I'm pretty sure we're close to a year. I'm pretty sure I launched this in April. But I will double check before the outro so I can let you guys know. But yeah, it's been incredible. 36 episodes so far, and we're almost a year. 52 weeks in a year, episode per week. And yeah, I'd just like to say thank you guys. It's been an outstanding year. Outstanding 2023, and for you guys to listen and keep on coming back, I do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to what 2024 is coming around. We've got a lot of good movie and TV shows to talk about, and a lot of it is like, what? And a lot of it is like, oh, I remember this. So I hope it brings you guys as much nostalgia as it does to me and everyone who comes onto the show as well. When I say everybody, my buddy Sassy Bear is the only guest I've had so far. So so hopefully we'll have more guests coming next year. Fingers crossed. But without further ado, let's get on to the episode, which is all about the Crystal Maze as a start music here. This show originally released on Channel 4 on the 15th of February, 1990. Enjoy the podcast, everybody. Let's go. The nostalgic of those themes is absolutely fantastic. Oh, by the way, if somebody heard like a little sniff during that, my apologies. I forgot to turn my microphone off. That was me. This is what you're getting with this podcast. This is what you are getting with this podcast. The Crystal Maze. Wow. This show is like reruns galore. I'm pretty sure it's still being rerun now to this day on like the Challenge TV station. And this show is so nostalgic. For me as a kid, me and my brother and sister would sit down and watch this show religiously, just because of how exciting the show was. And the concept of the show was incredible for its time. Obviously, on its initial run, I never got to see it because when it was released, I was born almost a month before. So I was born 3 weeks before the show even started. So technically, I'm older than this show, which is scary to think about. It is. This show is this show is almost 34 years old, and it's incredible how much it's regarded as, and how much nostalgia this show brings as well. Because when you talk about the Crystal Maze, especially if you grew up in the 90s, early 2000s, and somewhat 2010s as well, because it did make a pretty big resurgence back in recent years, and it is a once I think it's like a once in a lifetime game show that will just like capture the imagination of people and just think, oh, I'd love to have a go at this. I want to go on this show. This would be fun. This would actually be a lot of fun. So the Crystal Maze is a British game show devised by a Frenchman or woman. I'm not too sure. I can't say the name. I'm gonna say Jaquette Atoni, which the Crystal Maze was based upon his format of the French game show Fort Boyard, which is going to get an episode one day. And produced for Channel 4. The program fixed on teams of contestants of mixed groups of men and women attempting a range of challenges to earn time required to help them complete one final challenge. If completed successfully, earns them a prize. The premise of the show, its theme around challenges set to different periods of history, with a fiction of labyrinth of time and space, the Crystal Maze, and is notable for the use of golf ball size Swarovski glass crystals, references to the time crystals, as a reward for each challenge successful completed by the contestants, and lock-in conditions for contestants that run out of time or broke a 3-strike rule on a game show. So basically, the premise of the show, if that just went over your head, Billy Bob basics. Contestants would come onto the show, and they would go into like different worlds or arenas. So you had 4 times, so they were known as time zones. You had 4 different time zones, and then after you completed the 4 time zones, you would go into the final challenge, which is the Crystal Dome, where if you get enough, what did they have? They had like shiny paper, so they had gold and silver, and I think the premise was if you got more gold than silver, the amount of silver would deduct from your gold total, and whatever the final result was would determine if you win prizes or not. Some were successful, some weren't. It's a very difficult game depending on the time you get. The crystals they would collect would determine how much time they had in the Crystal Dome. I think there were 25 crystals, so you had a total of 10 seconds per crystal, as I strictly remember. So you could think 10 crystals, 25. Somebody doing the math. I'm not good at math. I'm not going to pretend to fucking do math here. But if you got all 25 crystals, it would be a long time. I never actually witnessed anybody collect all 25 crystals. If somebody did, let me know or send me a clip of it, and I would like to see it. And you got the times. All these crystals would be in these different time zones, so you'd have uh different games. So there are different types of games through each time zone. I will get through the time zone. Well, I'll talk about the time zones in a minute because they changed the time zones for seasons 1, 2, and maybe no, 1 and 2 were the same, and then 3 to 5 were 3 to 5 were different, I think. Oh no, there were 6 seasons. Sorry, my bad. So 1, 2, and 3 were the same, I think, and 4, 5, and 6 were different. I'm not entirely sure when 1 was changed, but we'll get to that in a bit. So you had so the game so the different types of games you had a physical, mental, mystery, and shit. I can't remember what the fourth one. There was four challenges, wasn't there? There was 4. So there was mental, mystery, physical, and skill. So you had 4 different types of categories. And each I had 3 of them. I was missing that one. And each game had a different time. So it was either one. So one challenge would be like 3 minutes, and then one would be 2.5 minutes. I don't think there was one under 2.5 minutes. I'm just going by muscle memory on this one because I haven't seen the show in donkey's years, and I'm just literally going off by memory right now. And there was some challenges would have automatic lock-ins. So if you go beyond, if you complete the challenge within the time, if you get the crystal within the time, you come out, you win the crystal, yay. If you can't get the crystal and the time's running out, your teammates will, tell you to get out and whatnot. And then if you stay in there past the allotted time, you will be locked in. And the way to get your teammate out is by surrendering a crystal in that just putting a crystal in that room for exchange for your teammate. So there were occasions on the show that a teammate was literally left behind throughout the entire show, and then they won the crystal and won the show, which I feel really bad for, because that guy or girl's probably going like, "Oh, I'm stuck in this room. Everyone's having fun, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Do you know what I mean? I'll just chill out. I'd have had a kip or something." And then obviously some would have automatic lock-ins where the games would have specific rules and restrictions, and if you obviously if you got out to these rules and restrictions, you get locked in automatically, like a 3-strike system, basically. So it's kind of like a mixture of like Treasure Hunt, Expector, and Dungeons and Dragons in a way, because sometimes some of the mystery contests could be like a Dungeons and Dragons style role play thing. So which is actually quite fun. I know nothing about Dungeons and Dragons. I've only played it once. Yeah. So you had so obviously during the original run you had like a team of 6. You had 3 women, 3 men, 3 women, which is awesome. And the original show was broadcasted between 1990 and 1995. Obviously the hosts wise, you had Richard O'Brien, who was if some of you may know who Richard O'Brien is, he was like one of the guys to help help bring up and create. I don't know if he created it. Did he create it? I'm not too sure. I'll have to do research. But Richard O'Brien was in the Rocky Horror Picture Show as I think the doorman. I think the creepy doorman. If you've seen it, you know who he is. Really great host, really funny. I liked. He was like the first host I watched. He growing up, he was pretty awesome. I really enjoyed watching him. Great entertainer, really really good. The guy, while the contestants are doing, he'd be doing these like monologues behind them, and like sometimes playing a harmonica, which is even better. It's just exciting music was great. So he did that for 3 years, and then you had Ed Tudor Paul, who was the second host, and he had a bit more of a different style, where he was dressed like I kind of thought he was like a Doctor Who character, because he would probably fit in as like a Doctor Who, or the Doctor himself, but he would be like dressed up in like these old school waistcoats and stuff like that, and yeah, he was pretty awesome, really really interesting entertainer, and he was a different horse, and when it came to like different zones and stuff, he would be the one doing that. So which was pretty fun. In recent years, the Crystal Maze has made a resurgence. 2016, Steve Merchant hosted the show for a one-off stand-up cancer special in 2016, which was pretty awesome. Wore a blue dress suit with a red waistcoat or a white shirt, floral neckerchief as well. So that was pretty cool. And obviously, Richard Avoid. Uh, I can't say his surname, but he plays Moss in IT Crowd. He hosted the show then from 2017 to 2020, and to me, he seemed like a really good choice, logical choice to take over the show if they ever brought it back. And because of the way he is and how he portrays words and how he acts and how his characters he usually portrays are really really good. So I'm looking forward to like if they I don't know if they're bringing it back, but if they do bring it back, I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it'll be really 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 cool. So you had different zones. So you had different zones through through the show. Now, some of these, like there's one of these that came up and I didn't know. I haven't seen. I haven't seen the latest ones or the more up to date versions. So I'm going strictly by like the original show. Um, so you had four, like I said at the start, you had four zones. In the first two seasons. In the first two seasons, you had Aztec world, you had industrial world, you had futuristic world, and you had the medieval world. And what was unique about each zone, you had a different type of method of timekeeping. So where the Aztecs had a water clock, the industrial had analog clocks, futuristic had digital clocks, and medieval had the hourglass, which were all unique to themselves. It was really really cool. Medieval was in a castle, futuristic was in like a space station, which was pretty awesome. And for a kid who was obsessed with Star Trek during the mid to late 90s, was pretty awesome. Industrial in present day chemical plant, metals, everything. They did resurrect that zone for the new seasons that I know they did, which is pretty awesome. But then after the second season, they changed the industrial zone for the ocean zone, which is designed as a sunken ship called the SS Atlantis, held within an air bubble at the bottom of the ocean. Consists of a saloon with a elegant staircase, wooden paneling, couches, a grand piano, covered in furniture and objects, and upper walkways, boiler rooms, maintenance corridors. So pretty much a ship that was intact, and that had an analog clock, as timekeeping as well. I liked the ocean zone. I thought it was much better looking and striking than the industrial zone. And when you have the Aztec, the future, the medieval, and then the ocean zones, they kind of complemented each other in certain ways. And it depends on the show. Sometimes you would start off in Aztec and finish at ocean or industrial, or you'd start off in industrial and finish in futuristic. So you wouldn't go like in a circle or a anti-clockwise. You wouldn't go clockwise or anti-clockwise. Sometimes you would go from any different direction, really, as far as I remember. Which is actually pretty cool. And the music as well, which was pretty fucking awesome to have during that. The start of that was pretty sick as well. So that was pretty awesome. Because it was pumping. I don't know if the guests here did or anything like that. If the contestants here did, but if you were a contestant on the show and you heard that music, the zone change music, you would be like, I like this. This is actually giving me a pump right now, and I can't wait to do it. But in 2019, they did, when the show was resurrected, they did bring the Eastern zone as well, which I've not seen, but I did find the shows on YouTube, so I'm going to have a look at them, and especially the modern day ones, to see what the Eastern world is like. Which I think I can't wait to see. I'm actually looking forward to reminiscing and having a look at the old episodes. So check them out if you haven't done so yet. And then obviously once you've done the zones, you've got the Crystal Dome, which is this huge 16-foot crystal dome, and you step inside, the door would close dramatically as well. There was a bridge that was underwater, and they raised it so they could walk across. That was a pretty unique feature. And then you'd have giant industrial fans underneath blowing up like these shiny papers. You'd have like gold and silver papers, and I'm pretty sure if you got more, I'm pretty sure if you got more gold and silver, you would win prizes, and each person would win a prize. Even if they didn't win a prize, they would take home like a commemorative like crystal, which is pretty fucking awesome. So a lot of people have them now, probably in their like mantelpieces or lofts. Or some of them might have just sold them for money. I don't know. Depends. Good tea. But yeah, and the time, the method of time was there with the crystals as well, which is pretty cool. The theme song is pretty awesome. The theme's entitled Force Field, which is quite brilliant. It was used throughout all 6 original series. An updated version was used in the new series. The original track is 1 minute and 5 seconds long, and however, it was shortened for the opening and ending titles. Likewise, a new recording version of the theme lasted for 33 seconds. The underscore remix of the theme is played during the show itself. During the show itself was also composed by Zach Lawrence. I don't know much about Zach Lawrence. I don't know what he has what he has composed himself. There really isn't much about him, about his scores, which is unusual. Usually you would get them, but some reason you didn't. Yeah, I think that's about it. Through the years, you've also with the Crystal Maze, you've had like board games and more recent time you've had board games. There was a video game released, a single player video game released as well. It doesn't say what it doesn't say what it was used for. But i- you know, it was awesome. But the original series finished after 6 seasons. August 10th, 1995. And it shows as well the strength of what the presenters, it had one, two, three, four, five Christmas specials as well. So you had Richard Ryan do three of them, and Ed Tutor Paul did two of them, obviously, respectively. Uh, you also had during the revival, you had the Stand Up to Cancer special as well. So, there's been 3 seasons of the news of the Crystal Maze as well in recent years, which is pretty cool. The Crystal Maze is also making like a splash over the states as well. They did do a season in America, but for Nickelodeon, but it only lasted until March 27th, 2020, due to COVID, which was a shame. But they did 10 episodes. Oh, they actually, ironically, they could have done 10 episodes, I think. So they probably pre-recorded it and then did it before the show. So this show, I think this show is like pretty amazing. There is a Crystal Maze live experience. I think it's still going now, but I'm not entirely sure. But if it is, I'm going to find out how to get tickets for it so I can go and do it. It would be pretty fucking awesome. Just to experience it. It'd be fun. It'd be like Ninja Warrior now in the UK version, Ninja Warrior, which have like parks like pretty much everywhere, which is pretty awesome, I think. Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't think there's much else I could say about it other than this show is pretty awesome. This, if you haven't seen it before, go and watch it. It's pretty class. It's so nostalgic. Brings back so many memories of my childhood, and just sitting down, especially with the Challenge TV show, a TV channel, sorry, which have like a lot of nostalgic, old school, classic, retro, British game shows, and you can't really, I can't really say anything more about it. In total, 9 seasons, 6 original seasons, three revived seasons. 83 original series, including five specials. So, one standard cancer special, and then 45 revived episodes as well. So you're looking at over 100 episodes of the Crystal Maze 2, and each episode were about 60 minutes, which is even fun. And it was worth the fun. It was really, really good. We all sat there. We all enjoyed it. It was really good fun. Really, really good. Yeah, I think that's about it. I think that's about it. I've talked enough now. So we'll do the outro now, and then we'll get it. So listen to a little bit more of the nostalgic music. See you in a bit. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. That was episode 36 of the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast. Thank you for tuning in. And that was the Crystal Maze. I hope that brought you so much nostalgia as it did me. I can't wait to look at the episodes back and just the Crystal Maze episodes back and just bask in the glory and the nostalgia of what that show was. To catch up with us, guys, if you want, we're all on social media right now. So follow us on Instagram at the Multiverse of Entertainment Pod. You can catch us on TikTok as well at Mo Podcasts. Each week you will get like a little sneak peek of what the episode is or what I'm doing, or it's just more interactive, personal look. I'm gonna be posting more of the podcast stuff next year because I'm still trying to find the feel for it on the socials. You could also follow me on social media at It's That Nerd James on Instagram, TikTok. You could catch me on YouTube as well. You can also catch me on Twitter or X at It's That Nerd J. Apparently, It's That Nerd James is too long, so I cut it down to It's That Nerd J. So catch me on there on the old Twitter, X, whatever the fuck it's called these days. You can also catch us on audio form on anything, really. Just search the Multiverse of Entertainment podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube Music as well. You can find us on there. You can find the Multiverse of Entertainment on my YouTube channel at It's That Nerd James on there. We got 35 additional episodes on there right now, and this one will add 36. So thank you for the journey. And I think that's it. I don't think I've missed anything. So next week is going to be a Christmas episode. Because Monday's landing on, so Christmas Day is landing on Monday this year, which is actually pretty fun. I was umming and ahhing whether I'm going to put the episode out on Christmas, but I thought, do you know what? Screw it. Let's put it out on Christmas to see what happens. If a Christmas episode works, whether next year I can put it like the day before or whatnot. So Christmas Day itself, you will be getting an episode, and we are talking probably one of the greatest Christmas movies of all time. No, it's not Elf. I fucking hate that movie. We are talking Home Alone, the original Home Alone movie with Macaulay Culkin and friends, where he saves his house from 2 burglars, which I can't wait to talk about because I've just watched that recently. Until then, guys, see you next week. Have a good one. Enjoy your Christmas, and let's listen to the outro music we love so much. Have a good one. See you next week. Bye.